There's just one last topic I want to mention around subqueries. When we are making use of a subquery, as we've seen, we can place a subquery inside of a select clause. But if we place just a subquery inside of a select, we can get away without putting in a from or a join or anything else like that. Let's take a look at this kind of scenario and why we would do it at all. All right, so the rule here is we can place the select keyword and then a subquery right after that without any other from or anything, as long as the subquery returns one single value. Let's take a look at an example of this right away, and then we'll discuss why we would ever do this. All right, so I'm going to put in a select and then immediately put in a subquery. So for my subquery, I'm going to make sure I return one single value. So I'm going to try to calculate the max price out of all the different products. So we've taken a look at that before. It'd be select max price from products. Let's try running that, and sure enough, we get a result right here. So if we have a subquery that returns anything more than one single value, like let's say if it returns a column of values, we're going to end up with an error. If we try to return a group of rows and columns, so maybe price and name, we are also going to end up with an error. So we can only do a select with just a subquery if we are getting back one single value. So I'd put in max price again, and yep, sure enough, it still works. All right, so why would we ever do this? Well, this is actually really useful if we are ever trying to calculate just one single value that is the result of several other values. All right, that's not super useful to hear. Why would we really do this? All right, quick example. Let's say we want to find the ratio of the maximum priced item to the lowest price item. To do so, we might do something like select max, right there, we already found the max price item, and then we could divide that by the lowest price item, which we would find with select min price from products. So I can run that, and that will give us the ratio. Now in this case, we still see 9991 because the lowest price item is $1. So we're essentially getting 991 divided by 1. So we still get the same thing. We could try, how about the maximum price item against the average price of all items? So on the denominator right here, we could put in average price. And there we go. So that's actually a value that kind of makes sense. The maximum price item is about twice the average price. We can also print out multiple values from different subqueries. So let's say that we want to print out both the max and the average. Rather than doing the division right there, I could put in a comma. So this is now saying that we want to select the result of this subquery, which is the max price, and I want to also select the average price. So I can run that, and we get just those two right there. So you're going to be using this kind of select and then subquery anytime that you want to calculate just maybe one row of values, or anytime that you want to calculate the result of some math around a couple of different values combined together. All right, so now that we've seen this, last thing around subqueries, let's continue on in just a moment.